Yo, what is up y'all? My name is Lizzie. I am self-learning UX design. This week I hit my 3-month mark in my journey, and in honor of hitting my 3-month mark, I'm going to be sharing 3 things that I would like to improve on, 3 things that I am proud of, and 3 larger, more abstract learnings. Now, before I jump into all of that, I do want to contextualize where I am at in my learning so far. To do this, let's reference the EDIPT model provided by the Nielsen and Norman Group. If you're not familiar with what this is a design thinking methodology used to provide a solution-based approach to solving problems. In fact, it's the leading design thinking framework used in the UX design space right now because time and time again, it has proven to be an effective way to solving complex problems. Where I'm at with my UX learnings right now is that I have a solid understanding of the empathize and define stages. This includes user research, which involves contextualizing inquiry, understanding methodology, and synthesizing data to inform the design strategy. And I just finished learning the fundamentals of the ideation process, so diving into the breadth of web navigation, user flows, information architecture, and all of that good stuff. All right, now let's dive deep into this self-reflection. 3 things I can improve on. The first thing is definitely time management, hands down. I am a highly ambitious person, which means that I am constantly stacking on responsibilities because I'm just naturally inclined to. But the detriment of this is that I am still learning to prioritize the things that need to be prioritized. So to provide some context around this, I'm a full-time UX student, self-learning, so that's my primary job. I'm assigned to a pro bono case for a state senator. I am involved with my undergrad scholarship program as a writing coach and also as a co-chair on the alumni board to help organize and launch career development events. I also have multiple side hustles, and I've also picked up opportunities to help leverage and share resources to folks on UX design, aka YouTube, and aka my new UXD Struggle Bus Discord server, which by the way, the link is in the bottom and you should definitely join. Now, I like to compartmentalize my life, so that's just my professional sphere. And I haven't even talked about my personal sphere yet, which I think I could say that I'm equally ambitious in that sphere as well. Like in my hobbies, in cultivating my personal relationships, and also just indulging myself with self-care. Oh, and also resting and sleep. In short, I like to keep myself busy, but I inadvertently will sometimes spread myself thin. So I need to learn to prioritize the things that I need to do over the things that I want to do. For example, sometimes I'll spend 2 extra hours on something that isn't time sensitive above something that is time sensitive. Now, I always complete those time-sensitive things that need to be done, but the issue is I put myself in positions to finish them after hours to make up for the time that I was supposed to work on them during the day. In effort to maintain a healthy work-life balance, I try to keep my UX design study/work and volunteer stuff between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. and then make a hard stop at 6 p.m. to enjoy my personal life, indulge in self-care and rest. So how I can improve on this moving forward is to create a stricter schedule for myself where I am prioritizing the things that I need to prioritize first and to make it non-negotiable, but of course when there's valid exceptions, be flexible in that regard. All right, now the second thing that I want to improve on is this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm keeping it real, is reading books. UX design books, like the classics. So I do have a list of these books that I've curated from online resources and also recommendations from my mentors. And the thing is, I am relying on other mediums to learn right now, and I'm pushing these books to the back burner. So I know that I'm going to eventually read them, but I just haven't yet. And I know that these are classics for a reason. They are super accredited by the industry, so I know that they will only enrich and solidify the foundation of UX design fundamentals that I have right now. So in order to improve this, I'm going to start reading one of those books on my list next week, on Monday. The third thing that I want to improve on is to follow more UX designers on social media. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want to get into the habit of keeping up with design trends and to also cultivate a critical eye so that I can more easily identify what are good designs and what are not. Making this small change and making it habitual, I know will make me a better designer. So I am going to start following more UX designers on Twitter and to make it a point to spend at least 15 minutes a day to just scroll through that Twitter feed. All right, now let's talk about things that I am proud of. One is my mentorships. I'm so proud of myself for bridging and cultivating the meaningful mentorships that I have. I won't go into great detail because I will be making another video elaborating on my process of bridging and nurturing these relationships and the value of them. But what I will say in this video is that I have different mentors for different things, and that has really bolstered my growth as a UX design student. So to be a little bit more specific, I have 2 mentors that I work on my pro bono case with. I have 2 to 3 mentors that I speak with more generally on career development, and I have one that I work with on my personal branding and another that helps me understand how to approach my portfolio. I'm super fortunate to have these people to volunteer their time and invest in me and invest in my professional career. It's super cool, and I'm just very grateful. Another thing that I'm super proud about is securing pro bono work to include in my portfolio, but to also be able to use this as a way to apply my learnings. I'm able to really understand the actual process of what it's like to work in a team with stakeholders under constraints, with deadlines, and it's all forcing me to adapt. I also understand that it's not common for a student to be able to work on a real life project. So I know that this is going to not only help me become a better designer in terms of learning the fundamentals, but to also put me at an advantage when it comes to the hiring process, because I can talk about how I have experience with working in a real life UX design project. The third thing that I'm super proud about in my self-learning journey so far is that I have really pushed myself to muster up the courage to put myself online, like YouTube, in order to create communities where I can help leverage resources to folks. And this is very much in line with my passion, which is to help people in their career development and as a way to create more equal opportunities in the career space. I'm gonna share with you a little secret. I don't know how I come off on screen, but I am still practicing public speaking. I'm also someone that doesn't like to be at the center of attention. I am an extrovert, but I'm very low-key. I know that sounds like an oxymoron. Putting myself online and on YouTube specifically, where anyone can pass judgment to me on the content that I create or the way that I am presenting myself, is super scary. But the cool thing is that I've just been able to push myself to a point where I am so focused in my own lane that the idea of creating impact in this way outweighs the concerns that I have of judgment and fear. I think it really speaks to how my self-learning journey has allowed me to be positioned in my own lane right now, where I am so focused that I see the greater picture, and that helps me stay focused and care about what actually matters. All right, now let's talk about 3 larger / abstract learnings. The first one is to stay on top of burnout prevention. Bro, if you have watched any of my other videos where I document my extreme burnout, you will understand that it was such an exhausting experience for me. In short, my body and mind was so exhausted that I actually fell behind my UX design studying schedule by a month in order to recuperate. I just put my body through extreme scenarios that led to some very unhealthy and ugly repercussions. So I am really trying to not do that again, and I'm doing a great job so far because I am working towards maintaining a more sustainable schedule and work-life balance. The second learning is to stay in my lane, stay focused, and to not compare myself to what other people are doing in their own lane. This will remind me to take my time and to embark on this path in ways that feel right to me. My journey is different from anyone else's journey, and with intention, I can build this journey to be something that is very cool and unique to myself. Also, in line with that, comparison is the thief of joy, but it is also just very unhealthy. And what's really wild is that since my career change, like back in January, when I made this big leap of faith into the unknown, I already feel myself growing a lot and into the person that I've always wanted to be. And I know that sounds super corny, but that's just really how I feel. And I think it is the result of self-learning, which affords me the time, agency, and freedom to explore these parts of myself. It allows me to ask myself, well, who is it that I want to be? What does that look like? And then do something about it. I think that my self-learning journey has provided me with the opportunity to build upon a stronger sense of self. Now, my third larger learning is that it's so important for you to define yourself with your individual personality, qualities, and aspirations instead of labels and entities. So what I mean by this is to avoid tying yourself too closely with your company branding, because when the time comes for you to leave the company, you in a way are separated from that identity piece, and you're only now left with yourself, your personal branding. So you really need to have a strong sense of what that is. For me, I'm still figuring that out, but I know for one thing is that I'm very passionate about helping to leverage accessible tools to help create equal opportunities for all. And I really like doing this in creative ways. So for example, this YouTube channel, the Discord server, and also I started this new initiative on Clubhouse where I connect with UX design students to share experiences, and that's been really fun. With becoming a UX designer in the ways in which self-learning is affording me, I have never felt more encouraged in my life to exercise my visual creativity and my natural problem-solving thinking skills. It really feels like this is work that I would naturally fit in and that I could potentially grow to be really good at. And I feel confident about this because the skills that it takes to become a great designer are skills that I already have and that I'm so excited to develop. And what's really wild is that this isn't something that I felt in my previous career working in government. And what's even cooler is once I further my career and become more expert in the work that I do, I will be able to continue to feed this passion of helping others with their career development, especially those in marginalized communities, also grow that scope of impact. And just thinking about that just makes me feel so excited, and I could feel my heart swelling. I just think that that would be so fucking amazing. And that wraps up this video. Please do consider dropping some love via virtual engagements on this video, and also consider joining the UX Design Struggle Bus Discord. Link is in description, and I will see y'all in my next videos. Thank you so much. Later.